Please welcome on stage the finalists of Chongqing Major, Virtus.pro. Please welcome on stage the finalists of Chongqing Major, Team Secret.
Our finalists have taken the stage, and, even before we made it here all the way to China for this major, these were the two teams to look at. They've already done it this year, and VP got the better of Secret, but you can see when Puppy's taking the stage, he is ice in his veins right now. This man is so cocky taking the stage, and that's exactly what they may need.
I honestly think that people watching these teams underrate so much how that's such a part of his long-term success that it's on me, guys. I'm going to take the attention. I'm going to take the criticism. I'm going to be the magnet. You four guys just go play good Dota.
Let's say if he was beta instead of alpha, like none of these teams would probably work, no matter the skill that he has.
No, and when you look at the sheer number of young players that have blossomed into superstars on him, I mean, let's talk about a couple years ago, right? Let's talk about Ace last season. I know you have your criticism, but he looked great. Let's talk about Nisha this season. I mean, this is like Puppy is the closest thing that we have in Dota to like a franchise builder.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a thing to kind of group around, to rally around, is somebody who will take those hits for you, right? And then also, when you are in the middle of a situation, which looks like it is not going your way, to have that banner, to have that guy who just isn't phased by it. And you can also see beyond just his team how it affects other squads.
Absolutely.
And I remember playing against Puppy first time. It was in Dota 1, probably like 13, 14 years ago. He was playing for XSK team, and he's the same person. Like, he did not change, and that's what I love about him.
Yeah.
I've always been curious. When you were playing back then, who did you consider your best hero?
Wow, that's a tough one. We're talking about Dota 1, probably Wind Ranger.
No.
Luna.
The early days of Dota 2, when I would have been watching you.
Oh yeah, Wind Ranger, Broodmother, Tide.
I thought your Tide was
offlane.
I thought your Tide was like the best in the world at that time. Anyway,
you're just over exaggerating.
No. I thought his anyway.
Dude,
little fanboy.
Every time that Lacoste lands a joke, that somebody compliments him, he the amount of times that he's winked at me throughout this entire
do it, though.
Oh man.
Lacoste, that's what I do. That's who I am. I can't change it.
Yeah, you definitely can't.
The thing is,
but you know what these guys can't change? The fact that they just win time and time again. VP, you would think after already knowing that you're going to the major, maybe you let up. Oh. On top of that, they get here with their coach playing against Secret last time.
That face.
And this is the man who was sick a few days ago and is able to just shred. Now he looks absolutely fine. You would have no idea. But this team beat Secret with their coach last time. And it's so easy to forget about it because it didn't look like they were even slightly knocked down a peg.
I think it might have been the LGD series with that coach, but it doesn't matter. I haven't on no one's authority. I asked him this morning, and he said that all 5 players were feeling fine.
Oh, no. The coach, they needed to do that to get here.
Yeah, to get here,
but it was in the last series that they had a player who wasn't feeling well, right?
You said Poppy has ice in his veins. I can see Virtus.pro having fire in their veins because everyone else besides Pasha is wearing a t-shirt and it's really cold in here. So
Well, Kyle said it as a joke, right? That the VP players, I think Secret's more prepared because the VP players are at the bar. But I think that's part of what VP do at majors. They don't put all this pressure on themselves. That's part of the swagger that they play with.
Yeah, if you see how VP reacts behind the scenes, you would be amazed. Like, they're just group of friends that are having so much fun. They're relaxed together, and I feel like they're one of the top teams that still have so much fun playing together. It's like you're getting around Saturday to play Battle Cup with your friends that you didn't see for quite some time. You can't play too much, someone's working, and you're excited about it, and that's how VP feels.
Yeah, and that's very important when we talk about how Puppy influences his team and how it is something to rally around. VP is very different in the way that their team chemistry works, but it does work. We talk about in group stages. We had that interview with them, and they were like, yeah, it's groups. Like, we're not really fazed by it. They did what they need to do in groups, but they have a couple of games that maybe don't go the way that they fully expect, and you just hear, yeah, it's groups, it's fine. We're just getting ready here. We'll see you in the grand final. And they do have that attitude throughout the tournament. They're not fazed by a game loss. They're not fazed by seeing a draft that they didn't prepare against, heroes that they didn't pair against. They just figure out how they're going to win, and that's what they do time and time again.
It's part of why we love Dota, right? It's not, we talk about it in the context of drafts and hero picks, that there are so many things that are viable and can work, but it's not just about that. It's team dynamics too. You contrast VP with something like a Liquid, that Liquid is, they're memers, they have some fun, but when they get into that booth, it's business, right? I mean, they are a very, very serious, very focused team, whereas VP is a lot looser. And I think Dota is an incredibly stressful game, both individually and as a team, and you have to have that team identity to be able to sustain success over time.
There needs to be some form of chemistry on your team, and with a lot of teams, it's not jumping off the page. With these two squads, it is something that is a strong selling point.
You really see it in the booth, which is that's part of why these LAN events are so fun to watch.
And sometimes, when you talk about intangibles and things like that in any esport, in any sport, it is such a hard thing to talk about, and it seems like it isn't something important, but I don't think it's a mistake that we see VP and Secret here again when it is that obvious, when it is that in your face. But now they're going to be getting ready for the draft in this best of 5. The first game will be underway very shortly. Is history going to repeat itself? Are we going to see a new champion at the second major of the year? And in this draft as well, I want to ask, you say the potential for Cheese. This is going to be something that they're working towards here, of course. But both of these teams at this point, they're just saying, hey, how many can we rack up? How many points can we get? How much can we impact other squads? They already have solidified their TI this year. But do we expect the Cheese Lacoste early on? Does it start at the very beginning of the series? Or do you expect these original drafts, these first drafts coming out here to be a little bit more standard with what we see?
Not necessarily a Cheese, what we like to call like a Meepo, Arcward, and Broodmother picks, but maybe a different approach, try to sneak in a hero that's not been picked so far or did not have a great success. That's where Poppy shines at.
Yeah, and Arcwarden looked better than I expected. I think it's not either that Secret used to run that for Nisha. It's not something that's been in the meta in this tournament, but we saw it creep back in with, I believe it was Arteezy that played it.
It was.
I would not be completely shocked to see Nisha on that hero.
And that was one of the things that Lacoste mentioned as well, that you can't really target any specific player, especially somebody like Nisha in the draft, and try to attack his hero pool because they do have so much depth. One of the other things we're seeing is very consistent stats when we do look at head-to-heads. Yeah,
because I think that's one of the things, if you were to criticize Secret, I think that's one of the things that you could point to since TI8 with the addition of Nisha to the lineup. Mid-1 has been, he's felt a little bit less like a playmaker to me. He's felt a little bit, he used to be the guy that you would have on Ember Spirit, on Invoker, on these snowball momentum type heroes. You go all the way back to his days with Fnatic before he joined Secret. He's felt a little bit less that to me. I don't know, am I alone in that, Lacoste?
Well, the stats don't lie. We can see that from numbers, so I guess they just needed to adapt the way Nisha is playing because he's kind of their superstar, young superstar. Maybe it's easier for others to adapt the way he's playing and then implement just tell him what he needs to do when it comes to a team fight.
But that was part of why I was so enthused by that Game 1 draft the other night, where mid one on that Slark just took it to a Medusa in lane and went and made plays all around the map. That's the kind of Dota we're more used to seeing from him.
I do want to bring it back to one of the numbers we saw at the very beginning, which was that average length of game time. We did see now VP's time going up a little bit beyond the average. It's slowly throughout the tournament we were seeing longer and longer games.
They're not risking that much as in group stages. They don't want to finish the game this early, and I mean, as tournament progresses, of course, you're going to be more caution about what you're doing and the way you're playing.
And I think that's one of the advantages that you have as a veteran roster that's been together over a period of years now. Roger obviously joined midway through last season, but that 4-player core of VP. This is a team that when you get to these events where the meta is very fast, you can change pace a little bit. You can change gears and force the enemy team to play a lineup that they've been playing in these very tempo-oriented games, go a little bit later with it.
Now getting into that draft, it's something that we need to keep in our mind. Both these teams at full strength here today. Last day of the CQ Major. Two teams that we know we're going to see at the TI. And now, obviously...
There we go.
Yeah.
Going
to
see
the
a
mag
Magnus.
ban right
I can
away.
see him right there.
None of your unicorn stuff, Lacoste. Yeah, I guess the big question, once Mag is off the table, the big Wisp as well. Okay, that was the second big question, and now you start thinking about that Tusk, Earth Spirit, Lich level of hero. I still think Earth Spirit, Tiny is the big flex pick. You deny that to Secret mostly because it gives them a very flexible open. But I think Earth Spirit certainly has to be on the table to ban if your team's Secret.
Flex picks has been so popular for drafting him in the first stage or just being banned out because you don't know where they're going. You're not revealing anything, and you always like have one step ahead of your opponent because you can adjust to whatever lane you want to put him on.
Yeah, I still want to see Weaver for Secret at some point on this series, a hero that they've run on 4 different players in their last 6 games with it since TI.
ET. Definitely something that we expected to potentially get hit in these bans.
And that's a respect ban for Yapzor.
Yeah.
I think that third ban might have been different. You probably banned it against Chinese teams, but that third ban might have been different against a team like EG. Certainly with Yapzor on the other side.
Yeah, if it was EG, maybe we would have seen what Team Secret tried to employ earlier today, which was really attacking that OD.
It's so easy to be a coach these days. You just print out Dota buff pages. Just kidding. Just kidding. This is the man that we did not give enough credit. I don't think we ever talk about Team Secret's coach.
I agree. I think we've talked a little bit about it. By the way, VP the ones with first pick here. As I flagged, Secret had shown a strong preference set, and they're going to lock down that Roger Earth Spirit. It does open up a lot on the side of Team Secret. They're going to have the Tusk on the board, but again, the one big thing that stands out to me about Secret's hero pool in this tournament, they're not a Tusk team.
Okay. Yeah, so we are going to see that Tusk is still going to be open, but like you said,
and it's a big deal. Like it effectively when you get to this stage in the tournament, it's like having an extra ban.
Especially when you do know these teams so well, right? They've gone head-to-head so many times. They're not going to let something like that slip by.
VP Secret dipping into reserve time here with their open.
Grimstroke still in the pool. They opened up with Grimstroke and Rubik a couple of times. Also OD's out of the pool, so they might consider getting a Medusa.
Medusa first phase is something I think you have to think about. Likely 5 position Undying, although you will see teams occasionally dip back into a 3 or 4 position. This hero's stats in the patch, however, not good.
I mean, so
one of the 4 lowest ELO adjusted win rates in 20 or more games.
And how many times have we seen an Undying in an open as well? So why do we think Secret's going for this route? They dip into reserve a little bit, and then Undying going to be their first pick.
Lanes.
Yeah, this is the hero that secures lanes. Earth Spirit, Strength hero, Undying just loves to play against those.
And with all the teams threatening tri lanes, okay, rotating in and out of tri lanes in this tournament, Undying is one of those heroes that against a tri lane, he doesn't care how, he can tri lane against 3 beefy heroes and be perfectly happy.
And as you said, we are going to see that Rasta here. You were saying you wanted to see more Rasta, but tri lanes so prevalent in this tournament. I believe you said about 25%.
Brutal open by VP. This hero, I feel like we talk a lot about the very valued supports in this patch, but if you take those off the table, this is my most valued core in this patch. The Beastmaster, he's so great in the tempo of games that we're seeing, able to bring pressure across a wide area of the map. His itemization is very natural into those Vlads, Crimson's utility items. He can go blink if needed.
Oh, Visage Band, that's interesting. They don't want to be run at 20-minute mark. Possibility to even close the game with this kind of a lineup. Undying drops the Tombstone, Rasta wards, Birds. It's a good ban coming out from VP.
Also respecting the god level tri lane that would be Undying, Visage, and any other hero.
Grimstroke's still in the pool if they want to get rid of that Beastmaster double roar. So good.
Yeah, the one thing, so Grimstroke is still in the pool, as is Doom, presumably on the side of Secret. It's not unthinkable you might see a Beastmaster support, although the Earth Spirit on board makes that a lot less likely.
I don't think that's going to happen, considering it's...
the hero that
Yeah, it's Earth Spirit, that's Roger's hero. Beastmaster, one of Pasha's better heroes, and I feel like Beastmaster position 4/5 is
not
nowhere
near
effective as position 3.
And the numbers would bear you out on that. Medusa's still in the pool, though.
Yeah, we have a couple of picks that kind of open, considering OD is banned out in the first phase. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Dragon Knight, a Timbersaw.
I get a little worried about those because I want to see, if I'm going to see a Dragon Knight, I want to see it 4th or 5th, because again, you talk about the counters, the Monkey King, as we saw last night, the Timbersaw as well. So Jugs off the table for Ramses, so you got to respect the PA pick potential out of VP. I think you can go ahead and take a second phase Medusa as Secret if you want. Might be a little bit early.
There's that Timber.
Okay.
Why did you want to see the Timber Lacoste? It was one of the heroes.
I feel like the hero does not have that many counters in this patch, especially when they ban out OD as a first pick. And we see more and more tri lanes. So he's like one of the lane dominators, does not have many bad matchups, and can be also put in the middle. What EG did yesterday, you get a lot of XP and you can snowball easily.
Absolutely. No, the Lacoste point about tri lanes is a really good one with Timber, that in the age of dual lanes, a lot of times you constantly had to worry about how are we going to get our Timber to level 3, because that's when that reactive armor sustain really starts to kick in. When you have this tri lane meta, it can be a little bit easier to isolate 1v1 matchups, and Timber just crushes most of those.
Now dipping into reserve time is going to be VP. These Jug and Tide bans are not something that we talked about so much. Nahaz, why do we see these get banned in this portion of the game?
I mean, I think that's been the kind of MO throughout the tournament, is you're taking away these, you're taking away cores in the second phase. The other thing is you don't have anything right now against BKB as Secret. I guess Tombstone might count, but you don't want to have to worry about a hero like Jug that has, the Oracle pick opens up a lot of things here for VP. The Oracle pick makes you worry about a Husker. It makes PA potentially that much more scary. It makes Darkseer flat out unpickable if you were thinking about running Timbersaw in the mid-roll.
Yeah, we didn't see much of an Oracle. I'm not sure if he was banned out mostly, and
his numbers are good this patch.
Yeah, the hero looks so good. The reason why he's so good, because Root stops Steepy now.
Yes.
That's why. And the hero hasn't been changed. He received just a tiny buff on his Q on damage.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I don't think it applies with Oracle Q because it screws up the targeting.
For a second, I thought it was Zeus.
Oh wow! Oh, this is a hero I have wanted to see this hero. I didn't mention it, and I thought VP might have been thinking about it because PL is one of the classic counters to the Undying. right? But everybody stayed away from it. Even with, we've seen a couple first phase Undying games this tournament where PL was neither picked or banned throughout the rest of the draft. But VP is going to, Secret rather, is going to take it here, and they're going to do the classic, we'll pick the hero that counters our own.
Yeah, so how many times have we actually seen the PL so far in this tournament?
I want to say twice.
Yeah, I think it was twice. So many analysts saying, PL seems good here, but we don't see it. Now, in the grand final, we will see the PL.
They will need some AoE because they basically have none with these 3 heroes, and they don't have too much control for a Phantom Lancer. This Timbersaw is going to create so much space because none of these 3 heroes are good against a Timber.
It's kind of crazy, right? Because the hero that PL counters, Undying, and a hero that counters PL are both already on that side. But this is the response, right? When you're talking about, you're worried about melee lanes, you're worried about the other team having a lot of melee cores, this is where you go to that Monkey King.
Yeah, this is probably the matchup that they will want to have Monkey King against the Timbersaw. It's hard matchup for Timber. Even though with the rotations coming, I've seen these kinds of matchups where you have a hero who is sitting at, let's say, 35 to 75, 40 to 60, and it just goes to a hero who has a worse percentage.
So with the Monkey King on board, surely it becomes more likely that Zai is going to be on the Timber.
Could be, yeah.
Right? I'm trying to piece this out because Secret, I think, despite the Monkey King laning matchup, which is a problem that we can get into once we see the bans here, I think Secret lack teamfight initiation, right? You really want some kind of initiator if you're Secret.
Yeah, I mean, Timbersaw is one of those heroes who can go in and just try to do something, get the focus on him, and then team reacts, but it's not reliable. I'm surprised that Centaur managed to survive throughout this whole pick and ban phase. Considering they already have a Timber and a Beastmaster, I assume Centaur is not gonna get banned nor picked.
I like this draft because I think it's both lineups have obvious strengths and obvious weaknesses, right? You talk about Secret until Blink on Rasta, which will come along a little bit earlier now that we all but know it's going to be Yapsor on the 4 position Rasta. They lack teamfight initiation, but you have a VP, other than the Monkey King in the laning phase, I suppose with Monkey King's teamfight it does offer a bit. He's going to build a Battle Fury, but they don't have the best illusion clear still.
They could grab a Dragonite, even though it's not a best matchup against against
Who do you want draft? Who do you want draft
for VP?
Oh, I think that's really tough.
What makes you not like that pick here, Nahas?
You're playing
I think it's yeah. You have to worry about the laning matchups, and I think as the game goes on, I mean DK's a hero that just he kind of gets swarmed by PL. It's not you know. Now that I think about it, it's not as bad as I first reacted. My apologies. I think it's reasonable, especially with the taking the Kunkka off the table. Okay.
Opa.
That's wow. That's VP again. Swagger, confidence. Okay, you need a hero to deal with AoE. You provide AoE against the PL. We're going to give you the mid-1 Shadow Fiend. And this, by the way, when I say I want to see mid-1 on more playmakers, yeah, right here, right here.
I'm not a big fan of a Shadow Fiend in general because he's vulnerable to rotations. Shadow Shaman and Undying not the best at doing so, especially because it's going to be Shadow Shaman position 4, and the hero is slow, so you're not playing Shadow Fiend into Earth Spirit, which is he's like worst enemy, and they have enough stuns and slows, controls to actually enable Shadow Fiend to deal damage with raises. So I like it here.
Is gone. I still. What do you want? Do you want a 3 or do you want a 2 Timbersaw? Lacoste.
3. I
you
think
want
they
a 3, okay.
I think they need a matchup against.
All right. So you want a ranged hero mid?
Yeah.
Can you just go Dusa? No, Lina. Okay,
right.
This is not a hero we've seen a lot, but oh wow. Oh, mid 1 Lina. I think mid one Lena crushes this matchup.
I'm not sure.
Well, I've seen him Lena
be
versus
rotations
SF.
coming out from Earth Spirit, which is way better than what position 4 Team Secret has, and
Yeah.
sick drafts from both of these teams, and I would give VP an upper hand in this one for sure.
Okay, you're giving VP an upper hand, but I want to ask right now, how does VP win with this lineup? Where do you think they're going to be able to take over the game?
Well, they have a good Roche potential. Their lanes are going to be strong.
I mean,
as well.
I think if they I think if they address the PL, they win the game.
Okay,
Because I don't think Secret has enough team fight to win this game if PL just doesn't get massive. But I think just watch that mid matchup. If mid one goes off on this Lena, this game's very winnable for Secret.
All right, our analysts are saying the mid matchup is going to be the key to success here, but let's kick off the grand final.
Hell yes, Richard. We are definitely looking to kick off the grand final right now. And what a final it is. It's a final that you'll probably be very familiar with. Virtus.pro versus Team Secret. In KL, they face up against each other in the winner's bracket and the grand final. In that tournament, though, it went the opposite direction. It was actually, Secret who was, it was VP who was knocked down. And then it still went to 5 in the grand final.
It was also a 2-1 as well.
It was.
The loser, in that tournament, VP, they 2-0'd EG. This time it's Secret, and they go up again in a final. I hope it's going to be epic. I'm wishing for just 5 games. Undeniably, these are the 2 best teams in Dota right now.
Yeah.
And, like, nothing to lose. This is probably... This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what I'd say 80% of the community expected. We finally get a shot. 5 games, VP, Secret.
You said on the panel before, you want to just have great Dota. You don't even care who wins in the end. Like Virtus.pro and Team Secret. These guys just play an incredible level of Dota. And looking at the draft, I kind of got what I wanted. We're both standing here during the drafting phase going, man, this is a really great counter to this, and this is a really great counter to that. Both drafts feel like they've got so many strengths as well as weaknesses against the opposition. And one of the biggest ones I want to flash up is the SF. It's no one.
Finally, dude.
Yeah, he comes up. It's finally SF gets picked up as one counter, but then he gets the other counter back.
Yeah, so EG won against eHome and Vici with their Timber, but those teams picked Beastmaster and Kunkka into the Timbersaw. Those aren't real counter picks. I've been hoping for an SF for forever. This hero outscales a Timber. It's a mixed damage core, great synergy with the Beastmaster and the Monkey King. We were thinking about maybe like an Ember last pick, but when you have a Monkey King, you need something that's hitting buildings, and that's what this last pick SF does. Secret, like Nahas said, Lena's going to need to go off. I feel this hero needs to snowball, and the matchup Lena versus SF is not as Lena favored as it was way back in the past.
Is the Lena still able to do a lot of damage when you've got the Oracle in your field? Like, how do you get it all off? And you're pointing to your screen right now to see no one.
Yeah, raise first. Raise first.
Raise first, what you're going for.
So this is the new way to play, and part of the reason that this matchup is so hard to read, because you're going to just CS with Souls, rush bottle. We saw Sumail do this back in the past, and I haven't really seen it in a long time. This is the traditional way to beat unfavorable matchups, but it's very high skill. You don't see amateur players even give this a shot.
Well, we'll see if no one can pull it off. We'll keep very, very close tabs on him. The laning phase at least has Nisha and Yapsor on that top lane. So as you said, Razors to begin with, trying to make sure that mid one doesn't feel comfortable, and then keep your eyes on bottom lane where Puppey, he'll be doing the job to try and zone out Ramses. And Ramses on his Monkey King. This is another signature player, and Ramses, what a great player throughout this entire tournament. He has just been on fire.
Yeah. He is the best player in the world right now. And I don't think you can make an argument for anyone that's not on his Dota team. Secret, they come out, they 3-0 this. Perhaps we change that up, but Ramses has been on fire. The guy doesn't make mistakes. He's incredibly involved in the development of the team's strategies, and he's nasty.
Yep. it's nasty. This is the greatest descriptive word you can find for Ramses. You're like, man, this guy's great. This guy's cool at Dota, and he's nasty.
There's a lot of words you could use to describe him, but
Puppey has taken so much strength off this. That's an Oracle with 362 HP, but there's no aggression that will come out of Zai. But it has stopped Roger as well as Solo trying to get aggressive against Puppey himself. They know they just don't do enough damage to get the kill. This is when the Undying pickup works so well.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the way Secret can play this game is, like we saw at TI, PL will become a problem.
Oh, wow.
In the mid game, you can deal with them, but late game, none of these heroes of Virtus.pro really challenge him. especially when you have that like third, fourth
Bottom
item.
lane, these Timber Chains, they're doing so much work. It's a 400 HP Monkey King. At least the Tango's a little bit more efficient for them, but looking for another chase. Going down towards the bottom while the mid is having its own fun. We have it on our picture-in-picture. Thanks, production, for ensuring we get to watch all of it. But Roger's hit level 2 finally, and really, Lina, she just got a regeneration rune
Top
for mid
lane,
1
top
as
lane.
top lane. Oh, there it is, the first blood against Pasha. We're looking at the bottom lane because that's where the other initiator's coming in. Ramsey's dodging one of the attacks with a mischief. Puppey getting a lot more strength back. And there's not much more that Roger can do to help out. They just can't get through the Timbersaw, and Puppey's so tanky.
This is the Undying factor. Even though it's a 2-on-3 in the bottom lane, Secrets still come out ahead. This is Undying in a nutshell, especially when you have a super tanky, sustain-heavy core like Timbersaw to play off of. And look at Puppey just chasing Earthspear through the jungle. But this is great because he wants to go heal anyway, so why not just keep tabs on what Roger's doing and ensure his mid laner stays safe. Also, no one forced all the way back to base.
Yeah, he walked it too. That's a long time out of the lane. Lina will move ahead in the CS. This is her going off.
Yeah, and this is what one of the downsides of the Bottle Rush is that a well-played Lina, as mid one is doing quite good right now, out CS's you just because you have the nulls, whereas you look at no one, he's just got a circlet to help with his last hitting. And mid one, when you get a lead like this, the SF will probably be able to keep pace, but you are going to win that initial trade. It'll probably equalize once we hit like that 4-minute rune mark, especially if Roger can make something happen here.
He's been waiting for a very long time. Thanks to that Dire Observer Ward, they have a little bit extra information on the high ground. So even if mid one feels like he may be a little hidden, it's not the case. Roger should be able to hit the rolling boulder. But if he doesn't, then there's no follow-up from no one. Even with the level 2 raises he has available, they still need more damage. And I fear for top lane Pasha, he already got hit out. It's the slow from the lands and the damage that just mounts the body block. He'll be, oh no, he's not okay. He's in a lot of trouble. Nisha just has so much hitting damage. And he'll get the kill onto Pasha.
That was it was a good idea from Pasha. He had 3 stick and didn't expect that last rush attack from Nisha to finish him off because he spawned the boar and he would have been able to salve in between hits and possibly turn that kill around as Nisha does not have a point in Doppel. Alas, I think he high rolled on that last hit.
VP's finally realized they need to try and change things up. Solar up on the top lane. He's going to help out Pasha and try and keep Shaman away from him, so any initiation isn't a guaranteed kill, which has happened so far. But then again, ES is also rotating. You can keep your eyes on that mid lane, but top's going to be where it's at. The Beastmaster Hawk, no one's going to be there on the right, and they could just roll in towards the Absol. Probably going to be the easier target, and in fact, that's exactly what happens. Solo sets it up. There's your kick. Nisha, he actually wanted to get aggressive, and he's done so against Solo. Support's arrived from Puppey. 1 decay will be enough. He's just out of range to reach Oracle, but that's why you've got the lands from Nisha. They focus that in towards Pasha. But coming underneath a wave and a half, Nisha, he feels the confidence. He's going to keep going for it while mid lane, no one has to back up to his tier 1 tower. Lina connecting on these stuns.
He has equalized, though. This is still about the same CS advantage the mid one had once no one returned after being forced to heal. He just caught a few too many Qs, but this is kind of the way it'll go if the SF just catches too many nukes.
He's dead.
Oh, no, he's
Wait,
not.
no, he started with a shock. Thought he was in range for a shackle coming in from the fog of war. Well, I scared myself.
Yeah. A big part of this game is going to be VP's ability to create tempo. Secret, you have an Undying, you have a Rasta. Like, they can find kills and pressure all lanes simultaneously. Bottom, Zai might go for this.
He was waiting for the stun, trying to get a little bit of extra life. Ramsey's one more hit will do it. He's got the distance. Zai going deep underneath the tower. While in mid lane, 3 heroes once again. It's the solo setup. It's just Fortune's End into the rolling boulder, and no one. The Light Strike Array will actually buy some time for Laguna Blade from mid one. He's starting to heal up thanks to all the nukes from Solo. And this will allow Lina to survive and then turn around to look for the kill over on the Earth Spirit. Unable to get it off, but Puppey drops the Tombstone, looks for the Undying minions. They're not in range, and thanks to the Dire Observer Ward from Virtus.pro, they know how to play around the Undying.
You're going to see this game is going to be Secret heavy for the early mid-game portion. VP, you're going to hit a timing when you have some Beastmaster items up. You can start shredding through buildings, perhaps get a Roche. But Secret, I think you've got the mega late game controlled as well, just because of the PL factor. And right now, definitely looking good for the side coming out of the loser bracket, just because of how much better their offlaner is doing in that sacrificial safe lane. Pasha's been relegated to the jungle, which this is how I think you deal with Virtus.pro as well. Shut down Pasha. Don't let him be this space maker. I would much rather play VP and allow Ramses and my carry to free farm than to put Pasha and my offlaner in a 1v1, having that 4 or 5 level advantage once you hit 10 minutes.
Especially when they're the late game heroes, like we've seen with the Terrorblade pickups. It's not like a Juggernaut getting a little bit of farm. Ramses, thanks to the heal, will be able to stay alive while up on top. They are really wrapping around as Yapzor wants to go in deeper, but Yapzor's the one they initiate in on. Once again, a quick little pop-off from Oracle. A charge down from Nisha, looking for a rebuttal support for support. The PL illusion blocks him from moving through the tree lines. Stick charge will keep Solo alive for a little bit longer, but you know Nisha wants this. A couple of illusions allowed to happen, but Oracle turns around once more, looking for a trap, but it won't happen. Especially with the fact that mid one has arrived in the lane. They charge forward towards Roger. Atlantis may slow him down enough to hit the light strike, and that's why Roger quickly rolling boulders away.
Secret doing a good job as well. This is what the top teams do. We saw a couple missed rotations from mid players in previous games in the tournament, but when mid one moves, Puppey is already mid catching the experience. He got a full wave before no one came back, and now he's going to get a bunch of creeps under tower. This is how you want to rotate around the map. If your mid moves, someone has to get that free XP and gold coming back into his tower.
With the creep skipping, they may get more than this. Get the experience in mid, but it's free damage onto the tier 1. Radiant are scanning, wondering if there's any kind of rotation coming through the northern side of the river. I can tell you right now, it ain't happening. Monkey King's having his own little battle against the Timbersaw on bottom lane. Always trying to line up for the good slapdowns to get the lifesteal back from everything that Zai takes out of him.
You're happy with this if you're Secret, though. Not many offlaners, especially melee offlaners, can stand up against the Timber. This is why they have the confidence to pick it third.
Especially when Timber's looking for the kills. Doesn't have the mana for another train. Actually, now he does. Soul Ring arrived on the Courier, so he can stay underneath the tower, looking for another chakra onto Ramses. He'll switch into a tree, but that's what Zai wants to play around. Ramses, a slap down, buying time. TP's coming in from SF. No one. Can he do some work? If there's another stun available, that's what Oracle is trying to arrive to achieve. But Zai, 1 raise, 2 raise, but Timber chained down. He is away while Laguna Blade fails to kill, but the attack will from mid one around Roshan. Gets the kill on the ES. So they're still going on bottom lane. Zai is not out of the woods just yet. There's still triple wraiths available. 1, 2, slap down. No one gets the kill onto Zai, but it takes so much to do it.
And look top, you already have a tower push coming out from Secret. This is the strength of having your off-lane Timbersaw as your guardian in the, I call it the off lane, it's the safe lane, but you get what I'm meaning.
Yeah.
You can't pressure Timber nearly as easily as Secret can apply pressure to this Beastmaster, who is still just rotating through the jungle. Pasha, not much of a game. Your bot tower as Secret is still full health, and you're in winning 2 lanes because the Undying was sitting mid just freely. You kill top tower, and yeah, you lose a Timber, but that's a worthy death.
Is this SF? Oh, okay. He'll be fine on bottom lane, especially with TP support arriving. In fact, with Ramses being as low as he is, he should be careful. And we'll get a little bit of healing from Solo. But is this actually more punishing? We've seen a lot of times the Dire side would just let their tier 1 and tier 2 towers go on the safe lane of VP. But doesn't this cramp up the style of SF's recovery? Yeah, very hard to hold your stacks in place.
Oh, hang on.
Oh boy, yeah, we may come back to that point. Zai, where's the stun? There's your first control. Just hold the Timber in position, allowing the Razors to do work. Solo's the one with the nuke that finds the kill. They want to get rid of this Tombstone. 1 more hit will do it, but nope, Puppey will take care of it himself. And they still want to go down. Fortification keeps the creep wave alive. Just holding Puppey in. 2 Razors will connect again. He's got a short-range raise. That should be enough to almost kill off Puppey. With the decay, he'll get more life up. But it's still not enough. Virtus.pro diving underneath towers.
I'm glad no one's doing, he's demonstrating what I would comment on, which is SF no longer just farm stacks, but you got to get involved, and no one's doing just that. You can see how he just dumpsters a Timbersaw throughout the game, but you're concerned if you're VP. Look where Nisha is 2,000 net worth ahead of the game, and he has total dominance in this top Dire jungle. Pasha's got Roar, but I don't know. Can you really find the real one consistently? You're going to have a diffusal soon as well. Is that coming out on the Courier?
It's already on the Courier.
My God.
This is an 11-minute diffusal blade for the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, and this hero crushes PL. You crushes Beastmaster. But the support duo of VP have a very big problem with Phantom Lancer as well. You purge both their disables. Man, Nisha's about to go hard. I think you just shove down bottom. He links up with the Timbersaw, your big tanky frontliner. He can tank any tower hit, no problem.
Just take a tier 1, tier 2, right?
And you have an Undying as well. Rasta, also level 7. Yapzor pops the Tome. He has Arcanes.
Here's your initiation forward, looking for the kill. Already starting off, SF lets the Requiem of Souls blast out. Pasha arrives, he has the Roar available, but instantly wants to push back. They do not want to roar this Timbersaw. They have no follow-up to it. The Earth Spirit's moving over. He doesn't have a TP scroll, so it's a long run. The Mass Serpent wants defense. The Roar goes out the Phantom Lancer. He's so low on life, but they can't kill him off yet. In fact, Pasha's too deep in the shackles on SF. Great chain control from Team Secret. Support is there from Oracle, but no level 6. He can't keep his core alive. SF will fall. And Team Secret get exactly what they wanted. A tier 1 tower, couple of kills, and then the right to push into the tier 2.
I don't know how he missed the close nuke on no one. He only had the 2 nukes land. Not sure how he whiffed. He could have just misjudged the range by just a few moments. I didn't see the replay, but this is a tier 2 now. I was surprised they dropped wards tier 1 mid lane.
Mid 1, this will be a big pickup if Virtus.pro can get something back. And of course, with the help of the Monkey King, yes, works with them to get it, but you lose a tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Mid 1 still worth a hell of a lot of money and good experience, and that's the one player who wasn't involved really in the bottom fight, even though the ES was trying to be. Ramses.
Yep. He's
still that ticking time bomb. Once he's actually going Battle Fury build as well.
Yeah, this is one of the ways you deal with the Phantom Lancer. Your illusions will get the cleave effect as well, and you handle Phantom Lancer the entire game. If your ultimate is up and you're standing inside of it, you just can't heavily commit with your illusions because they're all going to get cleaved away.
But do they have the time? Do they even have the space? Like, it feels like both Monkey and SF don't have the space on the map to farm.
This is the thing. I think Ramses recognizes, look, if I itemize in this more fight, like, you're not winning fights right now. You can't jump into an Undying, a Rasta, PL with the Diffusal 11. Like, you're going to have to try and outscale. Inferior teams are going to maybe double down on their mid game, and then they're one fight away from a loss.
Yep.
You're ready to take some small losses now as VP in the hopes that eventually you can turn things around, and I think that decision is a good one. Even if they were to lose this game, you got to try and find that win no matter what the percentage chance of success could be.
It's the mental thing. Get a little bit of run. Timbersaw, Zion, he's a long way away. Pasha has Roar up. Zion will just chain out. Of course, I know he's tanky, but as we proved with Ice, oh, that was the Demon Edge. It was the Demon Edge for Monkey King. That would have been a huge increase in damage for Ramses, and it's gone for 3 minutes.
That makes me feel silly about what I just said, Toby.
Hey, it was fantastic. The problem is the courier was going directly over their own jungle, and they're looking for kills. Puppey comes out. He's actually going to just Wukong command Ramses. No other choice. He can't jump away at the tree line, so they have to get rid of this Tombstone. Soul Rip will make it a little bit more difficult. Tombstone is gone. Zai, he'll stand underneath the Wukongs. He doesn't care. He'll chain through. Lost a lot of trees. The slapdown's good, but the Mass Serpent wants. The trap is up. No one's getting away from this one. In fact, four heroes all inside the trap. Beastmaster thanks to False Promise. He'll be able to survive and get his Roar off. But Nisha, he's still the bigger hero. He wants to try and stay up, and he's able to do so. So much regeneration, and maybe mid one with the shackles up. Ramses will fall down. Mid one sticks around for it, and SF will fall as well. Team Secret, it looked like the most disastrous wards from Yapsor, but it was the greatest wards of all time.
Hey, at least it was 2 from each team, right? Works out. Ramses, he got yolzed. Mid one just accidentally walks into tower range. That second shot put him at 8 health. If he goes down, I think Ramses might even live there, but turns out for a big win for Secret.
The other fun thing, the wards started to actually make it so there's a hard choke point on the ramp. It was so difficult for Virtus.pro to get the support up. Beastmaster, like he just walked away, and he was with Oracle on the far side, which just stranded the rest of Virtus.pro up the hill, and they couldn't walk into Team Secret.
Yep, and now you're in a position. You can see the power. Like, Secret third pick Timbersaw. They didn't care if this hero ended up getting countered. They have at least 2 people that are excellent on the hero in mid one and Zai.
Are you still happy to see a Holy Locket on him, though? He's going double braces into Holy Locket.
I think that item is very bad, but on Timbersaw, it's pretty good. You don't need the hood necessarily in this game. It gives you it gives you raw stat, like raw HP and mana, but it also gives you a ton of regen. It's just a super value item, as it gives Timbersaw everything you could possibly need. Plus, it boosts your health regen effectiveness. And if you look at the lineup of Virtus.pro, you're going Veil on Roger. Who's going to have a Spirit Vessel anytime soon? You've got Oracle going for it, but 2K net worth, he's still the full items away. He has the urn, but that's it. And he's going to have to buy all the wards.
I think they realize they need to amplify the damage, the small damage they have. Because right now, there isn't enough of it. The physical damage of Ramses isn't intimidating enough. Nisha, well, he'll get his own kill on bottom lane. Beastmaster just being caught out. He's all by himself, and with that, Team Secret look towards Roshan. There is a Beastmaster Hawk inside the pit, but thanks to the Sentry Ward, I don't know if he's up. No, he's up on the hill. Nope, the Light Striker raid. They're looking for any kind of extra information. Mid one with one more slave will get rid of that Hawk. And Virtus.pro, in fact, it's Roshan who kills it. He'll clap it down. All right, ES. He's in position. The Dire Observer is down. They have no extra information inside the pit. Beastmaster will respawn. He can TP out to the shrine if he wants to join the fight. Roshan, 1.2k, rolling boulder in, but the body block from Poppy, absolutely perfect. And that is a punishing kill against Roger. Aegis the Immortal into the hands of the Phantom Lancer. It was a bit of a YOLO, but if it worked, it would be great. But I don't think any team is letting that opening be
I
done.
don't think Secret is letting that opening occur, Toby. I've seen many an Aegis steal. There's a few that have happened to me that I don't want to bring up, but this is Team Secret. They're playing incredibly crisp and clean, and you know, going back to the KL Major, right? That series went to 5 games. VP won the first, lost the next 2, but ultimately closed out and won those final 2. So, you know, if you believe in superstition and coincidence, whoa!
Really nice. Yapsaw actually getting caught up on the top lane. He burnt Requiem and Yule Scepter to do it. Just walked up and did it. Monkey King's looking for the last bit of money. He's almost got, in fact, he now has the Battle Fury. So, new items arriving from Virtus.pro, but with no Requiem of Souls. VP may want to be a little bit more careful. Observer Sentry's being planted down. That's not going to last very long. Actually, yeah, it will. The Sentry's too far away from the Observer Ward.
Nisha's just unstoppable. Like, he's got a Manta, he's got a Diffusal, and none of the heroes of Virtus.pro are geared up to deal with his harass. This is one of those games where Secret's going to thrive in long fights. Virtus.pro, you need to find immediate kills with your Roar, with your Requiem, and under your Monkey King ult. If Secret can bait out some of these cooldowns and keep the core of their team alive, they should be able to clean up easily once that all fades.
There is, however, the mentality of Virtus.pro. So you're like saying, like, VP later on can fight, but look at their Observer Wards they place. One on the hill on the southern lane, and one's actually almost in the middle of that, like it's mid lane just out from the tier 3 tower. It's so defensive on the line drawn, and then the other two, they watch the northern side, watch that river entrance to see if they can go into their jungle and keep that Monkey King farming up. But Team Secret, they go the other way. Smoke up, run up through mid, Sentry Ward's planted down. ES needs to create a little bit of space, and he's just rolling boulders away. Goodbye, Solo. It's nice to have you back and playing with the team, but you are most definitely dead.
This level 12 roster, he's going to just drop boards on the high ground. Zai's going to tank. This is the strength of Secret. They've hit a timing. Everyone's spent their gold, and they're just ready to go high ground.
Our Serpent Wards are there. They'll clean up the creep wave, but like, as long as these wards are up, Beastmaster can't go in to deal with it. Nesep doesn't want to get too close.
And mid one has a blink.
Still no Requiem. Actually, no, they have the Requiem up now, so maybe they can Yule Scepter and do something. But the jump forward, where's it going to come from? Monkey King's coming in through the rear, so Ramses wants to trap him out, thinking about jumping across, so he'll jump away.
He cut the wave, Toby.
He did.
He cut the wave.
Wait, the backdoor regeneration, stopping the VP racks. Now Ramses will be punished for it. They catch him in the trees. There's that blink you were talking about going to work. They didn't clean up enough of the Mass Serpent Wards, but Ramses, he'll buy back into the game. Didn't commit the Wukong's command.
Look at Roger, he's trying to make the same play.
Yep. He's going to rolling boulder into that, however, and that's going to be with the entire team. Light Striker Ray's trying to get rid of the Dire Creep Wave. They're burning off the mana of the Monkey King for the moment. He's got 11-1 charges, so he can still go back into the Wukong, but can't get the full bump up just yet. He comes in closer, but this is too close. PL initiates forward. Remember, he's still got the Aegis Immortal. Monkey King, he can't afford to die. That's why Oracle has already popped the ulti. He knows how risky it is. Beastmaster and ES in the back lines. They find the initiation. Hex and Shackles over on Roger is buying more time for the defense, while Nisha underneath the tier 4 towers is just taking everybody out from Virtus.pro. ES is down. No one could commit the 1 charges. He'll have to actually use the defensive Yule Scepter. He wants to survive, goes for the Requiem, cannot get it off in time. It's just the Death Requiem. Buybacks available, and they will be heavily committed because Monkey King is now finally doing some damage with the cleave, but still can't get the kills. They turn around, the mana's been taken out. Ramses needs to finish the job. The Shackles, it's a dieback for no one, but GG is called. Virtus.pro, they are getting worked by Team Secret. Great draft, great execution. And Team Secret looked very, very clean in game 1.
You can see Puppy game plan for that Earth Spirit first pick. Goes straight for the Undying. I love the concept that they worked with. You have all these heroes that peak and hit a power spike at 20 minutes.
That's not quite right.
Hey, man.
The team formerly known as Secret, Team Liquid, not the victors. It is Team Secret taking game 1 against Virtus.pro.
Yeah, they hit a peak. You go high ground, there's really not much you can do to stop these heroes. Great positioning from Yapsor and mid 1 specifically. They let Nisha toy with the enemy side, pushing and pulling, as Zai is just sitting there. Inevitably, he's the one that gets roared because you can't find the real Nisha, and none of the other heroes are in position to be targeted. You just bait out the spells. The Oracle ult used, the Roar used, the Requiem doesn't get off. Now he's buying back with no souls. Just really well done. They draw out this engagement, and they close the game out 20 minutes? Like, that's clean.
It's before Monkey's going to be effective, before SF's going to be effective. The two heroes who which like no one and Ramsey's no back to front, but they were just never real heroes in this game. It's like, what does a true hero truly need? They need farm, they need time, and they just couldn't be provided. So great play from Team Secret. They look so strong. This is confidence. It could be a marathon day for them, but that's a good way to shorten it up as Team Secret take game 1 in this grand final.